Okay. I'll be going live in the meantime.
You should, otherwise they'll go away.
Yeah. Um,
I'm going to change the definition.
Hello and welcome. I'm not sure if anybody's here. If anybody's here, could you chat to us? Oh yeah, you're unfrozen now. Perfect. Hey, okay. There are people here. Miriam is here.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Welcome. Yeah, I don't really see it how many people we have, so that's fine. Let's wait for like a minute or two before we start. Yeah, it's my audio is choppy, right? That sucks. Um, yeah, it's a bit laggy. Okay. Um, is uh, is it better now? If I use this microphone? Oh. Oh. Yeah? Much better. Okay, thanks. I'll have to I'll have to see I have to see why that problem exists. But I'm gonna see that I'm gonna look at it some other day. Um, Hello and welcome to Kickstart Your Python. Happy to see you here with us. Um, Today, like last time, if you were here, you saw me doing R, which I cannot do, and Jonathan giving me kindly instructions to do so, to help me orient myself in the world of art. Now, this time our roles will reverse, and I will help Jonathan do Python, and we are going to do a very special uh, type of Python. Actually, we are only going to explore the pandas library, which is technically not uh, like it's not pure Python. It's a very specific adaptation of Python for data analysis, largely actually inspired by R as well. And yeah, and I there is this little sub challenge for me today is to convince Jonathan that Python is better than R. And I will do my best. I'm not sure I will succeed, but I have some aces up my sleeve there. So, yeah, I'd say let's get to it. If you guys are ready, then I'll just switch to Jonathan sharing his screen. And what we are going to do today, and we are going to share this notebook with you after we're done here. We are going to analyze the yearly spending of the European Commission, and that comes from the so-called financial transparency system. And we're going to only use the data from 2023. The reason for that is that otherwise it gets too big. But if you decide to do this by yourself, you can analyze data up until 2007, which is super nice, I find. I use this dataset a lot in my journalistic practice if I do research into companies. And there is also a dashboard with this data, But if you use these exports, you actually get more columns, which is super nice. So gives you basically more power to do analysis. So Jonathan, how about I had Jonathan download this data set from the website before we started. So here on the left hand side, and I'm going to move our heads a little bit to the side here, you can upload your own data sets into a Colab notebooks. Um, and you also get their AI solutions pushed down your throat everywhere. You go here. So, Jonathan, if you click on the little icon on the right there to upload the file that you downloaded,
Hmm.
not there. No, this is a
Up there.
Gemini prompt. No, no, no.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Which one's
you need the icon there. Yeah, that one. Yeah,
that one?
yeah.
Okay.
You need to
Like,
click on that, then you upload. So we're gonna get to that later, but you can use the AI from Google that's called Gemini to help you in the Colab, to help you with coding, which is super nice. But we're gonna get to that later. So
so it's there now.
yeah, it's there now. So if you go to the first cell, Jonathan, you
Hmm?
can run it, and uh, that will import the pandas library into our Colab. Now, what is an import? What is a library, right? So as I said that pandas is a very specific application of Python. It's used for data analysis. And what we are doing here is that we are importing the pandas library, so all the methods that uh, people put into this library, which is basically a collection of codes that you can easily use for your purposes. We are importing that here as PD. And so everywhere that you will soon see PD dot something something, that means that it's a special method used by this library. So the one of the first thing that we see there is already pd.options, which says which are pandas options, and this basically allows us to display more rows than default rows because we have a little bit more rows than the default would uh, display. So in the second cell, Jonathan, this if you run this, nothing will happen because it's commented. So everything that has a hashtag before
Oh
um,
yeah.
itself is a comment. So if
So
you
you want me to take the comment off?
please, and
Ah,
if
so
you,
change color.
yeah, it changes color, it becomes not green, but it has all these different colors. And what we are doing now, if you run this again, oh, you did. Yeah, we are putting the file that Jonathan just uploaded, we are putting this into the so-called variable that's called df. So you can imagine that the whole Excel sheet will just be contained in this little in these two little letters, df, which stands for data frame. And this will take a while because it's a relatively large data set. If you run, we are now using Google Colab, which is this cloud solution from Google. You can also use Jupyter Notebooks on your own computer, and then everything is way faster than Colabs. So we need to, okay, so this took a minute to load. Like
Yeah,
if you
that's
do
slow.
this, that's slow. If you do this on your computer, it will take a couple of seconds. Okay, so um, I'll just go through first three steps that I do with every dataset that I don't know. And these are, the first one is DF shape. So Jonathan, if you uncomment
Oh yeah.
that, yeah, perfect.
Uh,
DF shape, yeah,
so it's 118,000 rows, I'm guessing, and
yeah,
38 columns.
perfect. The second one is DF columns, and I need to uncomment it again. Yeah, and this one shows you what columns do we have in here. The reason I run this is because I like to copy paste from this list if I need it in the later stages, if I need
Hmm.
to have the column names. And the third one is actually looking at a sample of my data.
You've only taken 3 rows, right? So
Yeah,
it says sample 3. Is that
yeah.
enough? Should I change it to 5?
Oh, you can. Uh, I use usually three. I like number three.
I like number 5. Okay.
Okay. So, and what you also see there that I put a little T at the end
Oh,
of
I
it.
guess, yeah. I'm guessing that's transpose because I'm
Exactly.
seeing it. So rows are columns and columns are rows.
Exactly. So, what I wanted to show in this case first, if you don't mind, Jonathan, that in this row, I mean, there's lots of happening here already, right? We have the DF there. We have a sample, which is a method to get a sample from our data set. We have some number 5 there, and we have a T. So if you click on the third icon, like next to the arrows that appear above the cell, yeah, that's the available AI features.
Hmm.
If you click on that, it will offer you to explain the code. And I really, it is it. I'm not saying that you should use Google Colab or use Gemini to do this, but you can, any code that you write or any code that you encounter anywhere, you can use any large language model to explain it to you. And it does so in a very nice way, I find. It will tell you, think of it like picking 5 random entries from the data set, and that's the sample function. And the T is the transpose. It means swapping the rows and the columns. So it's I think it's a quite nice way. Interacting with an LLM is a quite nice way to learn. You should, if you want to learn, you shouldn't have it write code for you, but explain. In explaining, it's very good. We can click the explanation away for now. It was everything I wanted to show, and from now on, um, it's up to you, Jonathan. Tell us what you see, what you would like to look at. How do you think about this data set when you're looking at it like this?
Okay, so I'm just going to have a quick read of the index of columns. I think my first thought is to ask simple questions like which beneficiary country in there is getting the biggest amount
Mm-hmm.
in, say, contracts, and then do we have the who is exactly receiving it? We probably got a beneficiary's name somewhere.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
is. Yeah.
name of beneficiary. We've also got that. So I'd quite like to see it broken down by country and the beneficiaries with the largest amount of money coming into them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, yeah, let's then open a new cell.
So I go
Okay,
to
you
the
go
bottom of
below
that.
here. Yeah.
Oh, there's one ready for me to start.
Yes.
So I start writing.
So,
So let me think. Okay, I have no idea what I'm going to say to it. So you tell me. I'm guessing it's going to start DF.
exactly. So we are going to start with DF because that's our data frame. So again, remember DF is where all our data is in these
Hmm?
two letters. Now, if you want to see the beneficiary country, that got the most money. We're going to use grouping, right?
Hmm?
Group. So the method or the method is called group by. So you go group by
Underscore or just yeah, I'll group
without.
all one word. Right.
Yeah,
Group by
yeah, and open parentheses. And
and
then you need to have the column name that has the beneficiary that's the
in
beneficiary
in
country.
quotes or
Yeah, in
just
quotes. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. hmm And
So
now you need to choose by which amount do you want to summarize. So if you look at the data, you see that you have a couple of amounts there.
yeah, there was something which well, as an expert, you could tell me actually which one
The
beneficiaries
beneficiaries contract
contract amount or yeah, contracted amount.
beneficiaries contracted amount. Yeah, that
That
was
one
the one. Yeah.
beneficiary. Yeah, okay, yeah,
hmm
okay.
You can
So
best copy paste it because it's quite a it's quite a fingerful to write.
oh yeah, because I go back up to the
Yeah, you
up
can
here. Don't,
copy it from anywhere.
um,
There. hmm
no, including the quote.
Yeah.
Oops. It's
Yeah. This in
here.
Google Colab you don't really have autocomplete, which I find a bit annoying. But
Yeah. Okay.
okay. And
So I've got that
now,
ready.
well, not yet. You would open brackets like these
And
other.
any no dot here, just straight bracket there.
No, the boxy brackets. I don't know what they
Square brackets.
square brackets. Thank you. And put
Somebody
the
said some people call them brackets, and then the round ones are called parentheses. But I call
parentheses.
these
Yeah.
square brackets. Okay,
Okay.
square brackets.
And then um put the what you want to summarize by in there.
So that would be sum.
hmm no, the name of the column.
Oh, that
So what square brackets do is that um, they would only isolate this particular column to work with because otherwise it's going to sum up everything. And then at the end of this you put in sum
just
dot
inside the dot sum.
dot sum and
Hmm.
then brackets sorry parentheses. Yeah. Okay. If you do
Like
this
that.
and click on
Run
run
it.
or click Control Enter, yeah, you will get the summarized amounts. Now, this is not super helpful because these are, as you can see, sorted by the name of the country. And also, the numbers are
Hmm.
pretty,
They're
uh,
in
are
algebraic.
exactly. So we need to take a step back here. And
Mhm.
I'm going to, if you go up in where we have imported pandas
Yep.
for um, easy. Uh, okay. You press enter and write pd dot options. That's exactly what it suggests. That is what I want you to write.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. And now run this cell again. So in in Colab notebooks or in notebooks, if you change a cell, you always need to run it again, otherwise it doesn't go through. Okay,
So
so
now I
let's
can
see.
run.
Yeah, run this again and see if that has worked.
Yep.
Y-
So now it's at
Perfect.
least not in. Yeah. So all the numbers are easier to
Yeah.
read.
And now at the end, what you need to write is dot sort values, sort underscore values.
Oops, I've done it in capitals. My mistake.
That's fine. exactly what it's suggesting you need to do.
So it's
Ascending.
been quite helpful.
For now, yeah.
Okay, that.
Hmm. All right, so if you go up there, and of course we don't want to scroll all the time. So at the end, if you just want to see the top 10, you can at the
Hmm.
end write dot and then head 10, for example. Yeah,
Like it suggests.
exactly. It knows.
Aha! So we see Spain, Italy, France, Germany, Belgium.
Hmm. So these are top beneficiaries.
Hmm.
And
Right.
mhm.
Hmm.
So already, I mean, to get back to my challenge of selling of persuading you that that Python is better than R, what I really like is that these very simple dot something expressions that in R, the last time we did R, you need to do these pipes all the time, which are which I find too many characters.
Ah, okay. You're not selling it yet, but okay, I take your point. Yeah, so
Okay,
the dot is the pipe. So next do this, then this, then this.
exactly.
Does it matter what order we do that in? So
Of
if I
course.
strange, I suppose it does, doesn't it? Because otherwise, if I said head at the very beginning, it wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, it
So
would
it is
give
there
you
is a
give you
logical
the
order to it.
if you do head if you do df then head 10 it will give you the first 10 rows, and then if you do group by beneficiary country it will only summarize the first 10 10 rows, so it's not very
So
it's
and why are we doing uh why why isn't there a dot, for example, between beneficiary country close bracket uh, and open square bracket? In
Mhm.
my head, that would be another dot, but there isn't a dot there.
That's a very good point. Not getting too technical here, it's the open square bracket is the way how to isolate a single column. So if you go
Ah,
into another cell and you write df square bracket beneficiary country, and you need to, uh, if you type B, if you just press B, then it will give you another column. Sorry,
B for
another cell, B, yeah.
oh, I see.
Mhm.
Okay, right. So I go df.
Not a dot, just the open square bracket.
Oh yeah, and
And
then
then yeah, whatever of these columns, yeah, exactly. If you click,
do
if
that.
you run this without the sum, I
Oh,
mean, now
without
you're
some.
summarizing how much it is. But if you just have that, then it just gives you one column. And that's when you do a group by, you're creating a group by object while
Yeah.
you summarize by the beneficiary country, and you just summarize
Okay.
the the one column. If you want to do the same for beneficiary name,
Mm-hmm.
like we are coding here now, so that's super easy. You will just copy the
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 previous one.
previous code and just
Change one element,
change
which
one
has been.
element. Yeah.
So I'm going to put that. Do you do a lot of copy and paste when you're writing code?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah.
Is is it beneficiary name that I'm going to need here?
I think it's beneficiary name, yeah.
Just check.
Mhm.
Uh,
Beneficiary.
name of beneficiary.
A name
Sorry,
of beneficiary, yeah. It's
I'm going to copy that, but get the spacing and everything right. So
yeah.
it's
Yeah, depending on your setup, this can also be done by autocomplete, so it's not always this
mm,
annoying.
this going up and down, which I tend to do because in R, this all the results are going in a different place. Anyway, so I'm going to put that there. It's got too
Now
many
you have
quotes.
too many quotes, yeah. So the reason some things
Something
are
like
in
that.
quotes, yeah, perfect.
Mm.
The reason some things are in quotes and some are not is because if something is a text, a piece of text, then it goes into quotes. So for example, column names are a piece of text, but the sum and the group by and the sort values, these are um, methods. These are just little functions that we use. So these are not in quotes. So then the pandas knows that we are talking about what it needs to do basically. So what we see here is that it's mostly countries here that got this
Yeah.
money.
What?
I can also
Mm,
tell you why. This is the COVID recovery funds.
right.
Yeah,
What about the? Supposing I want to see the bottom, is it tail?
yeah, that's
If I want to see
tail.
the last one, so
Hmm.
I would like to see the bottom ones.
There'll probably be some zeros there because
Yep.
spending data is government to you. That's fantastic. Um, let us have a look, Jonathan, at
Mm,
maybe we want to remove those countries from our
mm,
data, right?
yes.
I think that would be great.
So
So
let
I
me.
think if you look at the data, the sample data that we have drawn there,
Yeah.
if you go a little bit down, then you will see up there, go up there. Um, Look at the program name.
Yeah.
I think the COVID recovery funds, we need to just remove the program name that is COVID
Yeah.
recovery funds.
That's a great idea. Let's take that out. So I want to
Mm-hmm.
say something about remove. So without that, so I want the.
Yeah.
I'm going to adapt this thing with the name of beneficiary, but
Well,
in somewhere in this group by, I need to say I don't want
yeah.
anything with a.
So
Pro-
if you add a cell before, because we need to find out what the program name is, right? So if
Mhm.
you add a cell before or under, yeah, perfect. And you do go df and dot without the dot, and you just add the square bracket and start to type a program. Like, no, with quotes.
Yeah, it's okay. Oh, with
Mm-hmm.
quotes.
Yeah, it doesn't suggest now. I am. Oh yeah, there.
Oh,
Program
there it
type.
is.
No, it's
Yeah.
program. It's program name. I think in the. This is just
Oh, yeah.
um. The AI is sometimes quite annoying. Okay, if you run this, we have unique. So these are
Hmm.
our program names, but it's lots of searching. So what I'd like to do, what is better to do is to see which one of these gave most money.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
you are now proficient in Python, Jonathan, so I'm sure you know how to do that.
So I'm going to take a copy of that because I think that's going to be my friend. I'm going to make a new. Uh,
You can put multiple rows in the same cell, by the way. If you
oh, I
just
can.
press
Okay.
enter, yeah.
Right. So I need to say group by program. Let's just delete that. What's it? Name.
Yeah.
So we want to
There
get rid
you
of that
are.
one.
Yeah.
It's by far the biggest one.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got a number for it, which might be easier than typing all that. Or do I take a copy of all that?
Yeah,
Two
take a
two.
copy of all that, yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You can do both. Like we just use a
Mhm.
different script, different
Okay. Right.
Okay, now go back, go down into the cell where we were counting where we were grouping by the beneficiaries.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then before group by, so after the F, you do a dot and
Yeah.
then do query.
Query.
Hmm. And open brackets or open parentheses.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then a quote. program name, so which is the name of the column. And now um, exclamation mark after the program name. No, no, no. You write everything in. Okay, sorry. You also put the program name in backticks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
While I do that,
sorry.
you can tell people why.
Yeah. So it needs to be in quotes and backticks.
Hmm. Oh,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
which comes,
So
what's on the outside? Hang on, what's on
on
the
the
outside?
outside, so you're writing a whole query, right?
Hmm.
So the query needs to be in quotes. Everything was in the query is in the quotes.
Oh, I see. In the
But
quotes.
because there
Ah,
is a space in the column, no, no, no. The quotes need to be at the beginning, and the program name, the column name, has
hmm.
a space in it. So because of that, it needs to be in backticks. Exactly. And now
Okay.
after the backtick, put a space,
Yep.
exclamation mark equals,
Oh, yeah.
and then
Quote.
simple quotes. Yeah, exactly. And now you end the simple quotes and end your query quotes. Just yeah, and then you need to write the group by
A dot
dot.
group by, yeah.
Exactly. And what you can do in Python is to write a backslash somewhere, so you don't have everything in one line, but you can have it spanned in different lines. So if you, I think it's backslash and then enter. Yeah, this should work. And then just do head instead of tail at the end, right?
Oh, yeah, because I left it before.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have
Okay. I'm.
25.
I hope this is okay for you guys because we are skipping many of the basics here and getting right into quite uh, usual data analysis, I'd say. So if you have any questions about this, please also write in the chat for now. If you have questions that Jonathan is not asking, please do ask him. All right. Yeah. So this is
So
without
we ought to say something. The exclamation equals means does not equal, right?
exactly.
So we said
So
program name should not equal all that
exactly.
2.2.1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So
again,
we find.
what I really
Hmm,
like about Python is that you just add these dots in dot something in all these places and just you can shape your analysis to what you want as you go, uh, which is pretty neat.
hmm. Well, they gave 360 million to the UN,
Yeah.
to the United Nations, slightly less than they gave to Serbia. Okay, so we
And
saw the most. Yep.
I find it very interesting that the European Space Program got so much money.
Yeah.
I didn't even know, I don't even know what our space program does. I think it's only satellites or something like that. I don't know. Do you
Well,
know,
they
Jonathan?
they train us. They train astronauts a little bit. There are some European astronauts.
Ah, lots of money. Like Turkey is the endless ascension money,
Hmm. Hmm.
probably. And CHIPS joint undertaking, also very interesting. And
Yep.
European
Oh yeah.
Border and Coast Guard Agency. I would love to see an analysis of how of the money that the European Border and Coast Guard Agency is getting over the years. It's, I think, super interesting
Hmm.
to make into a story.
So,
Hmm.
uh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just thinking. I'd quite like to look at. Um, I was going to say, can we break down the European Border and Coast Guard Agency, or do you think that's one big sum, 780 million,
No, I don't think
or
so.
can we see the individual payments within it? Who's
Yeah.
getting that?
Hmm.
So can we break that down? I'm just thinking if there's anything more interested at this point, but it's quite a big number for,
It is.
yeah, European Border and Coast Guard Agency. I'd like to break that number down and
Oh,
see what it's made up of.
you already have all the codes that you need for that in the previous one.
This one,
Hmm.
uh, actu- actually, I'm going to just make a copy. Hang on a minute, and
Hmm.
then I'm going to program name. Da, da, da. So is that a pro? These are beneficiaries, aren't they? So I want,
Name of beneficiary. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so I want df query. I'm going to say name of beneficiary is in lowercase. I'm also going to take a copy of that name, European Border Agents and Coast Guard Agency. Okay, name of
Great.
two equals.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
And
going to go,
the reason for people watching is there are two equals because just equal means that you're assigning something to something. So as you saw at the beginning, we said df equals. Um, read Excel. In Python, if you say equals, it means that you're assigning something to something. But if you want to say that something is equal to um, something else, then you use two equals.
I'm looking at, what name of beneficiary? And we know the name of the beneficiary. I want to break that down a little bit.
Hmm.
I'm just looking
How
what's going to
about
break
by
it.
the program name?
Oh, I see. Yeah, we could do it that way around. Yeah.
Or what do you want to break it down by?
No, that would do. That would do it. I was just trying to work out what I need to break it
Or
into.
beneficiary country. Not beneficiary country,
Yeah,
the benefiting country. Because that shows you where the project is being
where the
done,
money has
which could
been
be
spent.
interesting for the coastal agency. But sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes it's more than one country there, so could be also messy.
Okay, so blah, 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 group by. And I don't need those quotes like that, do I? I can have.
No, you just need one quotes. Yeah.
But this time I don't need the backticks, which is.
No, it's only with the query. So the dot query is a very specific has a very
Uh,
specific syntax.
let's see if this works. And then if it doesn't, we can debug it.
Okay.
So it looks as if, wow.
It does, yeah. It's only in Poland. Okay, now I'm really curious though if it's just one project. Can
Hmm.
you remove everything after the query? So all the group by and
I'll make a copy of that, I think.
no, just
And
oh
then,
yeah, sure.
yeah, because I like that one. It worked
It
first time. So, so I'm going to go, and you said I'm going to get everything up to the group by
Yeah.
is going to be the same, like that. So I'm going to get rid of that. So group by,
Oh no, don't do group by at all. Just because if you just do
mm,
query, yeah, without the dot,
oh, I see. It's going to make me,
it just will filter. Oh yeah, you put a space at the beginning. You're not
where's that?
allowed to do that
Where's the space?
at the
The
beginning
dear
of
query.
your
Oh, I
case.
see. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's no, no,
Oh
no in
dear.
Python. No, no,
Oh,
no.
in the world of R, that would be perfectly acceptable. See, you're just trying
It's
to irritate me now.
It's three projects in
So,
Poland actually.
and I saw European Space Program, Copernicus. Oh,
Copernicus,
Copernicus.
yeah. But what is it?
And then it's Frontex, the other two.
I think maybe they are buying satellites from them or something like that. Contribution agreement. Why is the European Space Agency contributing to Frontex?
Mm. Oh, oh.
Huh? That's a bit weird. How much would they give them? Oh, we don't
So,
really see. Can you put dot T? Because you see there is these three dots in there, yeah. So it doesn't show us all
mhm.
the columns, which was a
So
bit
they're in
annoying.
Mazowiecki region,
Yeah.
uh, and it's something quite a large amount.
If you go up there, so the first one is
Oh, right up here. Yeah,
yeah,
sorry, I
yeah,
wouldn't.
yeah.
So
Ah.
name of beneficiary. Border, uh,
Yeah, that's the
yeah.
beneficiary. And if you go down, then you have the budget line. And in the budget line,
Uh,
huh? Yeah. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. A little bit less. A little bit
mhm.
still. Yeah. Yeah, there you
Okay,
see
direct.
that there's 7 million coming from the budget line Copernicus, which is European Space Program. I contribution agreement. I don't know what that is. That's could be interesting. Um, the headquarter in Frontex is in Warsaw, Benedetta says. So it could be absolutely, that's why, yeah. Um, I we are actually 45 minutes in, Jonathan.
Wow, that was quick. Mind
Yeah,
you, I was quite a slow learner at the beginning.
I think you did marvelously.
You're very kind. What? Maybe we should see if there are any questions from there.
Yeah, Miriam was actually asking a general question.
Mm.
Maybe we can start with that. So if other people have questions about what we are doing, or if you want us to see something else, want us to see do something else related to coding, of course, please put a question in the chat. And Miriam has a question about the previous sessions that we mentioned that we would send data sets for us for them to practice, but she never received anything. I think,
Well, the
Miriam, if you look at this at the description of the previous video, you will find that, right? Am I right, Jonathan?
yes, yes. If you go to the YouTube video, there are, in the description you'll find instructions what to do to get the data. And for the R session, it was very specific because it took you into the cloud version of R, which is in a way what we're doing here. This is a cloud version of Python.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be able to join this particular script, I think,
Yes,
and make a copy of it and work from a copy of it.
yes.
Um, I think I'd like to do one more thing
Mm-hmm.
before we
Please.
go. I'd like just looking down all this list of stuff. I'm thinking I'd quite like to break down as far as I can the Frontex budget. So, for example, it might be a clue which cities do certain amounts go to.
Yeah.
In the sense that something's in those cities. But if we
Mm-hmm.
were to do that, so if I go um, DF, I probably want to query, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
And it is then um, what was that called? Project.
I think budget line name, no?
Yeah, that was the one, wasn't it? Budget line name.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna show you a way how so that you don't need to put everything in there, like the whole European border and
Everything.
coastal blah blah. Yeah. So if you do the budget line name there, and
Have I got the quotes the right around the
yeah, you
right
need to
way?
do the backticks there because it's a
Oh
it's
yeah,
a
backticks. Sorry.
Yeah, I to be honest, like there's no other way where you need to there's no other place where you need to use
Yeah.
backticks in Python. This is the only place. And then no, you need to still do that within the quotes. It's really counterintuitive, I see, for you.
Oh, this.
Yeah, it's the query is really like a thing on itself.
No. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I've
But
done the
no,
wrong thing.
go back, just remove that, and instead of the equals,
Mm.
don't copy anything.
Oh, okay.
No,
Instead of the equals,
instead of the equals, you do dot.
uh, should I close this quote or is it still within the
Yeah,
quote?
it's still within the query. Yeah,
Okay. Dot.
str, which is a string, dot
Yeah.
contains. Yeah, and then open parentheses and simple quote. And here you
Context.
can put frontex. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Close
and
quote.
close simple quotes and the close
Big
big
quotes. Double
quotes.
quotes. Yeah.
And no, close double quotes after between those two parentheses. The wrong spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. And
Mm,
close the parentheses
yeah.
and run this. Then we see how many of these we have at least.
You can put a
Um,
T.
yeah. We also don't have to do that. We also can change the how many columns you can see. That's maybe easier. But it
Oh, yeah.
looks like we only have two rows here, right?
Yeah, it looks
You
like it because
you
it
remove
hasn't.
the T? Yeah. Yeah,
Just
it's
two
just
rows.
two rows.
That's all the money in
Mm-hmm.
2023.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's not that
okay.
many. Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised. I was expecting with a Coast Guard agency, particularly. I mean, there are several
Yeah.
countries in the EU that have coasts, and
Yeah, but
Poland.
it
And Sweden.
as Benedetta says, like the headquarters is in Poland, so they probably just send money there, and and from there it's not transparent, right? Hey, isn't that great?
Yeah, this is so. It's not about the Python. It's about the way the data is. And I was
Yeah,
hoping I'd be able to see where it all goes
yeah,
physically,
yeah.
which,
That would
which
be great. Like that would totally make sense, right? But
mm,
mm.
yeah. Are there any more questions?
No, we
Because
actually don't have any more questions. Um, I have to make a confession, Jonathan. I cannot convince you that Python is better than R. And there is
well,
one simple reason for that, which is ggplot.
yeah, you've got matplotlib. I know.
Yeah,
Um,
that sucks.
there you go. I think there's this is going to sound like we're upselling Data Harvest for people who are going, but um, there are ways that you can use certain things are better in Python and certain things are better in R. And
Absolutely.
so particularly with the ability to ask it to write code in AI, in Gemini or GitHub Copilot, those sort of things, you could move relatively easily between a bit of R and a bit of Python. Um, I asked ChatGPT a few weeks ago which was R better at and which was Python better at. And it was saying all the stuff to do with scraping and use of APIs is easier, it says, in Python.
Hmm.
So you could get your data with Python. You could probably do some wrangling of your data with Python and then move over. As you get to the point of analysis and visualization, you would move across into R. Um, certainly, some of these things are quite neat, like putting a .t on the end. I'm trying to think what I would do. I think there's a transpose um, function in R, but I've never used it. crazily, there is one in Excel, which of course I
Yeah.
have used. But this is quite a nice way. Well, the thing with R is that there's a thing called Glimpse, which I think I showed you, which looks a little bit like this, where you see your columns as rows and a little bit of sample of what's in them.
Hmm.
Not quite the same, but it ends up looking like this.
Hmm.
Um, what since there aren't many questions, what stories have you done with this data using Python? Do you think that you really needed Python to help you with?
Um, you mean this particular data set, the FTS?
Or previous years maybe, but the transparency data.
Oh, I use it for so many things. Like if anytime we do research into any company, for example, then we check the financial transparency system to check if they got any money from the European Commission. Like if you, I think we did, for example, research into the consultancy companies, right? So,
Mm.
um, like if you do that, you can grab all the data, not only the 2023, which is a lot. It's just a couple
Mm.
of like here we have 100,000 rows, as you saw at the beginning.
Yeah.
So add up all them together, you get a million and more. And that you can filter on, you go to Deloitte, Ernst Young, and so forth. If you wanted, for example, do this kind of research, you can have a look at the car companies
Hmm.
that got money, and this is all European Union's internal budget. So if you just to give you an just you have an just you know what the European Union budget is, it actually com two large chunks of this is farm subsidies, which is not in this data. Another large chunk is cohesion funds, which is also not in this data. This is all data that is in member states' own, what's the English word? They management, let's say,
It's under their control.
under their control exactly. So this is like one third of the budget. So this is two-thirds of the budget, and the last third of the budget is what you see in the FTS, which is still quite a large. It's
Mm.
like a couple of billion euros every year. But that's and from the largest chunks from this is the Horizon money, which is science and research. So if you do, especially if you do any research into science um, projects and how much universities get money from the European Commission, all that stuff is here. It's
Mm.
I have to say, like member states could really take a good look at this, and just copy what the European Commission is doing here, because that would make a glorious tender data set for everybody in Europe to use if every country just stepped up their game in
I,
how
w-
they
I,
publish their
w-
tender data.
I wonder why they weren't.
Oh, UK is probably really good at this, but
No, it's not really.
no,
No,
it
there is tender
surprises
data
me.
around. It's a bit. It's easier to navigate actually
Like
than the
this is not
UK.
even tender data, This is really on contracts.
No, you mentioned
This is
data,
like,
tender data. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
this.
yeah. But this, I'm sorry, that was my fault. But
No,
I
no.
we're having a really English conversation here. No, no, it's my fault.
Yeah.
This is really on the level of as what we were summing up was the beneficiaries' contracted amount. So this is actually contracts, which is absolutely fabulous. I think I am going to. I actually think I'm going to do I'm going to do trainings on this data set in Holland at the end of the year because and more because there's just so much
Mm.
um, for people to look into. So yeah,
Yeah. Oop. Right. I think we probably. Are there any questions? Or are we
no,
just
there
going
are
to
not many
chat
questions.
about transparency? Um, so we're going to share this script, and
Yes.
people can watch the video again.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, pandas is the thing you need most for sort of reshaping and beginning
Yeah.
to interrogate data. Um, so that's why we use this one.
Hmm.
And actually, I've learned quite a lot about the FTS data, which is not one of my go-tos at the moment. Um,
And
okay.
I think, guys, if if you have your own data sets and you just use if you have a very big data set that you would like to look at and you just, try to upload it into Google Colab and work with it yourself, you can also pretty easily. Oh, Jonathan, now you disappeared. Okay. You can also very easily use the script that Jonathan wrote, just replace the column names for the column names in your dataset and so forth. So these are really like ready-made recipes for you to engage with and to experiment with. So do that. I'd say if you're interested to start, like Pandas is a very easy entry, I'd say, into whole programming in Python. I will also put in the video description. I will put in alternative if you don't want to use the Google infrastructure. There is just this Jupyter lab that you can install on your computer, so then you don't have to upload anything in the cloud, and it's also way faster. So maybe that will be a way to go.
Or you can. There are newer IDE, so integrated development environment, like built by the guys who made our studio called Positron, and I'm two of us will be talking about that at Data Harvest, which allows you to run the script in switch from Python to R very quickly and easily. But it basically can stay in Python if you want, or stay in R.
Oh yeah,
So that's
good
Positron.
one.
So we do a session, one of the data skills sessions at Data Harvest.
Yeah, good one. All
And
right.
we'd like feedback from people as before.
Yes. Oh yeah, good
And
one.
if you want us to do more of these, tell us what you would like us to do. We have some
Yeah.
ideas, but we'd love to hear what you would like.
Yeah, exactly. So this is actually the last one in the series. We were doing four, Kickstart Your Data Journalism, but we would be very happy to continue to share for free as well with you, and maybe we can invite interesting guests to join us as well. So it's not only me and Jonathan all the time. That have different skill sets than we do, right? So please share with us what you would like to see, what you would like to learn about. There is in the description of this video, there is also this feedback form, so fill it in. And if there's nothing else to discuss, I think I hope you have a lovely evening. And thank you for being with
Bye.
us.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.